3. Hey, what's up? That was the wrong cam. I wanted this one. What's up? Welcome to Chaos Live, my fun little live stream thing that I get to do on the weekends to hang out with you awesome people, answer questions if you have them, just leave them in the chat. Sometimes I can't get to everybody, so don't take it personal, but I'll do my best to do which ones I can. If I miss your question, then just come back later and leave it during the process one. I had quite a few of you awesome people that were in here early. If I scroll backwards through the chat a little bit, we got like Eugene, we got Andrew Jackson saying he clicked in 0.001 seconds. Some of you guys were really quick. Alberto, TNN, T-Dog, Lovable Xena, Sketchers Kid Gaming, John Franco, Ant Gambino, there's a lot of you. Sergeant Fishbowl, Nicholas, Crocodile Keys Productions, that's pretty nifty. Trev, there's all sorts of you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for clicking on that notification and jumping right on into Chaos Live to come hang out with me and all that kind of fun stuff. So, what's happening? So, we'll go through. If I get some questions, I'll answer some questions. Hopefully, you guys are having a good Sunday evening. Go back a little bit in here. Planning to join the Army after high school. Good luck to you, Alberto. Hopefully, you get a cool MOS that you're interested in. Hopefully for 11 Charlie. Good luck to you. So it's gonna be tough because you go in as 11 X-ray, and then you gotta hope that they pick you for 11 Charlie, because a lot of people end up getting, the majority end up going 11 Bravo, but there is still people that end up going 11 Charlie. Plan to join the Special Forces. Well, good luck to you. Crocodile Keys Productions. R.I.P. PewDiePie. I know. Maybe he'll make a comeback though. Maybe he'll be a big comeback. Still the largest real YouTuber on the platform though. The other one's T-Series is a corporation, so that doesn't really count. Doug, what's happening, Doug? MOS/Special Duty Assignment Monday Drill Sergeant. So it's not an MOS though, because MOS Monday is an MOS, where Drill Sergeant and Recruiter is like just an additional duty that you can get picked up for when you become either E5 or E6 around that time frame. What does MRE stand for? MRE stands for Meal Ready to Eat. So there you go. If you didn't know what MRE stood for, that's what MRE stands for. I think I saw somebody in there that you kind of said something, maybe meal ready to eat. But what's up, T-Dog? Just enlisted on Thursday for the National Guard. Leave it August 13th, South Carolina. Well, good luck to you there. What is it, Brianna? What's up, Nathan? How's it going? Let's see, Tony, do you get to go home for a week or so before you go to AIT, or is it straight to AIT after basic? Yeah, it's essentially straight to AIT after basic. The only time that people might get to go home is if that in-between time frame falls around Christmas. Then sometimes they'll send you home for a little bit and then bring you back. But otherwise, it's straight from basic, straight to AIT. But after AIT, you will get a little bit of time at home to take care of stuff, visit with family and all that kind of stuff, and then kind of move on from there. Charles, don't forget to like the video. I agree, Charles. Let's do a goal of 50. We'll do a goal of 50. I had it where I was trying to go big on previous videos and do 100, but I think we only got to 101 of those times. So let's go back to 50. All right. So the goal is to get the stream to 50 likes. That's just the goal. Nothing really special happens at 50 likes, but that's the goal. The goal is to get to 50. So if you enjoy the stream, make sure you hit that like button. We'll see if we can't get it to 50 likes before we end the stream. What's your favorite old president to avoid? Is that what you said? I don't know if I have a favorite president at all. Once you're in a branch, can you transfer to another in a branch? You can you're talking about like reclassing, changing MOSs. So you can reclass, but you're gonna have to, wait until your first initial contract is about to end, and then you can reclass to another MOS. So please do 68 Charlie. It's like the forgotten medical MOS. That'll be at some point. Trying to work on them slowly here and there. So at some point, I'm trying to hit the more popular ones in the comments. Chris, did you watch last night's UFC fight? Justin Gaethje knocked his opponent out next week. I did watch it. That was good. It was a good fight. I like that one. There wasn't a whole. There was quite a few decisions on that one, but Justin Gaethje fight was really good. And then there was one from earlier with The beginning of that I forget which one it was, where it was just back and forth with like submission attempts and stuff. And that one was really awesome. I forget who that one was, but yeah, it was a good fight. I was watching it. It was pretty good. Chris, is there an MOS to be a top gunner in like a Humvee or JLTV? Not really. I mean, anybody can really be a gunner, like in a vehicle. It just is a matter of being assigned to a vehicle. So, I mean, we've had like 88 mics, you could have fuelers, you could have whatever. You could have infantry if you're in a mechanized infantry unit that has vehicles. So that's not really like a position. It's just kind of an assignment that you have to, you know, try to get if you or something you're interested in when you go to a unit and they have like gun trucks. Then you can try to request to be the gunner for someone's truck or something like that. Always look forward to tuning in. Well, thanks, Doug. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, do you have Grunt Style merch on? I am. I'm wearing another Grunt Style shirt. This one they didn't send to me though. This one my girlfriend got for me. The ones that I had from the other videos, they hooked me up with 4 Grunt Style shirts, which I've already gone through all of them. Yeah, because then the one I wear on next Thursday's video, is a Grunt Style shirt, but it's not one of the ones they sent me. So this is just another Grunt Style shirt that my girlfriend got for me because she thought it was cool. So I like Grunt Style shirts. They have some pretty cool ones. Does the Army have honor grad like the Air Force? You're talking about like for when you graduate basic? I mean, they kind of like will honor someone, kind of like, you know, point it out, you know, if someone was like the top of the basic training. Sometimes it depends on the basic training, because sometimes they don't give a crap and they don't pay attention to that stuff, but sometimes they do, and that individual could sometimes get like an AEM, an Army Achievement Medal, maybe. Sometimes it's just a pat on the back and get recognized at graduation, and sometimes they don't even track that stuff. They don't care. So it just really kind of varies. Hey Chaos, I'm supposed to ship out 2 weeks ago, but I didn't make weight. What happens now? I don't know. I mean, there might be a thing where they give you a certain timeline to try to make the weight. Your recruiter should have talked to you maybe like what the plan is now. I don't really know. I would think that maybe you have to, you know, make the weight and then they send you off, and maybe you have a certain time frame to make the weight in before they're going to make you start all over with the process again. I don't know. I would imagine the recruiter should have, you know, given you some information. Going active duty, by the way, for 2 years and 27 weeks. Well, good luck to you. Was it Bryant the gamer? Can I have a hint on the next MOS Monday? No, this one's okay. No, because if I give you the hint, the only hint I can think of definitely gives it away, because there's only one MOS that does this. So no hint. No hint this time, T-Dog. But it's going to be something fun, something good for tomorrow. Okay, tell you what, I'll give you this little tidbit of information for all you awesome people that did come join the live stream. 2 videos we posting tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. 2 videos we'll post tomorrow. What were the first thoughts on getting deployed? Like the first time I got deployed, it was a little scary, I guess, in a way. You're kind of nervous, not know what to expect and stuff. So there was that, and then just knowing that you're going to be away from the United States and you're pretty much going to be kind of, you know, away from some of the little things you miss, you know, like fast food and going out to eat and being able to run to the store whenever you want to grab your favorite snacks and all that kind of little things you don't think of. So knowing that was coming can be a little bit of a bummer. Is it rude to salute a member of the military if you're civilian? I don't think it's rude, but it's definitely weird. So the person that you're saluting on the other end is going to be like, why is this guy saluting me? So I don't necessarily think it's rude, but it's definitely going to be like weird to the other person. The other person's going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, they're going to think you're weird. What's up, Jay the Vorn? How's it going? I am doing well. You should do a fake MOS money tomorrow since it's April Fool's. Make up a fake, crazy sounding MOS. Jay the Vorn. No giving away my secrets, man. No giving away my secrets. We'll see. Maybe that's what I have going on tomorrow. Maybe it's not. Let's see. They sent me to, what is it, Yuma? Oh, Yuma Proving Grounds after AI. It was supposed to be AIT with no time off. That sucks. You should both. They have to give you time to transport your goods from from somewheres. So I mean, it might be a little bit delayed, and then when you get your first unit, and tell them, hey, I got household goods, I didn't get a chance to go home or whatever. So then the leadership should put you like on leave or something like that. So it just kind of depends on how some of that goes. But what is the hardest part of basic training? I think the mental part. I mean, the physical stuff, you know, can be a pain depending on what kind of shape you're in. But I don't know. I think mentally, just knowing, like, not sure what's going to happen and not sure what, you know, things are going to go on and all that kind of fun stuff. So that part, you know, is kind of a little bit stressful for the most part. It's a little bit probably better nowadays because a lot of people have the internet, you know, so you have a lot of videos on basic training. So it's probably not quite as bad, but there's still a little bit of the unknown. You're not really sure, you know, if this is going to get you in trouble or if that's going to get you in trouble or whatever kind of stuff. So the mental part, probably. If you go into airborne school as an infantry officer and you pass, would you still be an infantry officer? If not, which MOS? Yeah, you still be, because there's officers can go airborne. Switch to the other cool camera. Officers can go airborne, so that's fine. You can still be airborne and go infantry and all that stuff. So that works just fine. Fort Lost in the Woods. That's where I went to AIT. I did AIT there. Can you take your hat off? Why? Why do I need to take my hat off? I don't need to take my hat off. It's gonna be a big surprise. What? Suddenly I'm gonna have like greenish purple hair. Oh, the camera's over there. That's right. Can you do a video on MEPS? It'd be probably kind of tough. I don't know if I'd be able to do a good video on MEPS. Because it's changed so much. Well, I mean, most part it's changed. So, and it's going to vary a lot based on where you go to MEPS because each MEPS station runs theirs differently. I don't know, it'd be kind of tough to do like a video on MEPS, I would think. What rank were you where I left the military? I was an E5, I was a sergeant. Special Forces, how do you make yourself stand out to get picked? Don't be too cocky, be able to pass everything really well, be a really good team player because that's one of the key things. Don't try to make it look like, you know, you're the hardcore one and you're the one that can do all this stuff like that. You need to make sure that you can do all the physical stuff, but at the same time, you're a great team player. The people get along with you and you're also trying to help people out because that's really how a Special Forces team functions, is as a team. So if you're trying to like be all hardcore and just trying to like beat everybody, then they don't see that as being a good team player, and you might not get selected. But you need to pass everything physically, you know, all the tests they do, but also make sure you stand out really well as a good leadership and, you know, a person who is going to you know, help each other out. You know, if you just try to get all cocky and be like, oh, I can do this, then that makes it kind of tough. So, Chris, love your channel, helping the next generation of soldiers, outstanding. 375th, awesome gunslinger. Was it 1875? That's the intention. You know, there's a lot of good people out there that, you know, want to join the army and they just don't know, you know, what things are like. So this helps them out, I think. What does he got? TNT, Yo Chaos. I want to go visit my brother on West Point Academy, and they played Retreat and To the Colors. It was weird because I'm not used to my brother standing straight because he always slouches. Yeah. So yeah, once you have like Retreat and everything like that, and all that, and everything, you gotta, you know, stand at attention and salute the flag when the certain part of the song starts playing and all that kind of craziness. So it's pretty crazy. You know, if you've never been on post for that, I'll probably do a video eventually on like the different songs they play, because there's more than just that. There's one in the morning, there's one in the afternoon. They have the Retreat for the flag to go down, and then I don't think there's anything in between. I don't think they play like a dinner one, I don't believe, because then at midnight they play taps. So I don't think there's anything in between Retreat and taps, though. I don't remember for sure. Can medics do Special Forces and airborne? They can. So I mean, like, if you go into the army and you want to be a medic and then you want to try to go Special Forces, there's no guarantee that you'll be the medic. What is it, 18 whiskey, I think it is. I don't remember for sure, but there's no guarantee that you'll be the medic Special Forces individual. Maybe if you had that medical background, there's a possibility that they could account for that and be like, yeah, let's put this person in the medical part of it. But otherwise, they select what part of the Special Forces like MOS you're going to be. So you can't really necessarily pick what MOS you want to be in the Special Forces. So, what's a good way to avoid punishment? Just listen, do what they say, and don't talk back. Don't do stupid stuff. Don't do stupid stuff. That's the best probably thing you could do. What does my ring look like? I have several. I have this one on right there, and then on the other hand, I've got that one. So there's 2 different skull rings that I like to rock. So, Chris, I've had acid reflux for a month, and I'm supposed to get shipped in July. So because of that, I might not go. Can I cancel out of my contract? I am going active duty and 91 Bravo Fort Jackson. Technically, I think it's once you ship off is when you're really locked into that contract. I don't know for sure, but talk to a recruiter, I guess, if there's something, some reason why you don't want to ship out or whatever, and you don't want to go into the military, then the best thing to do is just talk to a recruiter. What can you do to become a platoon leader? Well, the platoon leader would be an officer, and if you go officer, you eventually have to go and do some time as a platoon leader to be promoted. So if you're an officer, you spend some time, usually maybe starting off as some admin stuff as a second lieutenant, and then sometime in there, then you'll go and have to spend some time as a platoon leader. Then from there, I think it's like some more admin stuff before you go to XO, or maybe go to XO first. I don't know, but they have different kind of steps you have as an officer. But platoon leader is part of those steps of being an officer. Chris, have you heard of Angry Cops? If not, check out Drill Sergeant Rants. No, I've seen Angry Cops videos. They're pretty funny. I like them. There's one that we do at work sometimes with this Bushmoy thing, because we can relate to it, you know, by doing these damn cyber awareness challenges and all this stuff like that, and how they over-exaggerate it sometimes when you do these online courses and stuff, and that's kind of one of the things that he's making fun of in that video. And so we always say that. But yeah, Angry Cops is a pretty good military, Army-related YouTube channel. It's pretty funny. Thanks for answering my questions on DD214 vlogs. Well, you're welcome. By the way, if you guys didn't know, I do have a second channel that I'm trying to work on to do a little bit more of the personal stuff. I used to do some of the personal stuff on this channel, but I can definitely see that like not as many people are interested in the personal type of stuff. So I'm trying to dedicate it to another channel, so that way if you are one of those people that is interested in the personal stuff, then make sure you go check out my other channel, the DD214 vlogs, and that's more of the personal side of stuff, and this is more of the educational stuff to help out individuals who are interested in the military or the Army or looking to join. But that's the other channel for that part. In some cases, you won't be able to avoid punishment. It just happens. Don't get discouraged. Yeah, especially like in basic training. There's gonna be times where you could do everything right, and they're gonna, you know, make you do push-ups or make you get smoked or whatever, just for training purposes, because they have to do this to make sure that you can still handle the pressure. You know, if you go through everything perfect and you never get smoked, then that's not good training for you, and that's not a good way for the drill sergeants to be testing to see who can handle the pressure and who can't handle the pressure. So regardless if you do the right thing or don't do the right thing, you can't avoid getting smoked. They do that stuff to make sure that, you know, you can handle working under pressure and try to weed out those who can't. So, love your videos, man. Well, thanks. Thank you. Any security clearance needed for a 68 Charlie? I don't know. I don't remember, like I don't know off the top of my head like what MOSs require security clearances, which ones don't. A lot of times there's only maybe a few small handful of MOSs that require it to join. And then from there might be situations where because of your job duties, you have to get a security clearance, or where you're located at, you have to get a security clearance and all that stuff. For example, I was an 88 Mike. 88 Mike doesn't need a security clearance, but because I was stationed on the border in Korea, we had to have a security clearance, so I ended up getting a security clearance. So, hey Chris, have you been to Hawaii? I have, but it was as a tourist, and it was back in the like mid-90s, so it was a long time ago. It was fun. It was the touristy stuff. I don't know the military side of it. So some people say great things about it, some people say horrible things about it. It just kind of depends on your individual experience, really. All jobs in the military translate to civilian, however, can you adapt? So, I mean, there's some, like, it doesn't matter, like, not every necessarily job translate directly to a civilian job, but your experience with being in the military is very helpful to a lot of employers, and they like that, so that helps. What is a DD214? That is the form you get when you get out of the military to show that you have you know, either honorably served or even non-honorably, because a DD-214 is really just a document, a record of your service in the military. So that's why I named that, you know, DD-214 vlogs, because I'm out of the Army honorably. So that's why. I just subscribed to DD-214. Well, awesome. Air Force 22, thank you very much. Don't get discouraged if Chris misses your question. Try asking again or leave a comment after the stream ends. I agree. Just like Jay the Foreign says. There are, you know, what, 53 of you amazing people inside of here? Have you gotten to 50 likes? No. Why? We're trying to get to 50 likes on this stream. There's 53 of you in here. Sure, maybe some of you guys are here by accident and you hate being here. I don't know. But if you're enjoying being here, hit that like button. We're going to try to get the stream to 50 likes at least. But yeah, sometimes it's tough for me to get to your questions, because if I read every single question that goes through here, by the time I get caught up, some of those people have already left. Not everybody's going to stick around for the entire hour of being here for this stream. So, you know, maybe you spend 10, 20 minutes, whatever, 15 minutes, and then if I don't get to your question, then you've already gone. I'm answering questions for people that didn't stick around long enough. So I have to skip around a little bit on the questions. So what job do you have now besides YouTube since you have been out of the Army? I am an instructor. I teach soldiers how to use a system called JCR and JBCP, which is a tracking system / reporting system that the Army uses in their vehicles, and I teach soldiers how to use that. So that is my job outside of it. Have you ever worked with the French Foreign Legion? I have not. I've only worked with a few other countries. Korean. I've worked with Swiss. Not really Iraqi Army. It was Iraqi police stuff, but not a whole lot really. It's a DD-215. No, it's T-214. DD-214 is the form number. Chris, how does the Army ROTC cadet select his MOS? And if I want to be a 19 Alpha armor officer, can I still go to Airborne and Ranger School? So officers work differently than enlisted. So essentially, they only let the top people, like if you are like the top of your class in ROTC, those people sometimes will get to select the branch they want to go into. But otherwise, everybody else just kind of gets stuck into where they need officers at. So you get put into the area that is needed, and you just get stuck with that. As far as Airborne and Ranger School, really any MOS can still do that. They usually, especially like if you're an infantry officer, they usually encourage you to go Ranger. Otherwise, some people give you kind of flack for being an officer if you're not also Ranger qualified. So that kind of just depends on that stuff. But yeah, you don't actually get to really pick your MOS unless you're part of the top of your class in ROTC or even West Point or anything like that. Hey Chris, do you know the color vision requirements for 18 Delta? Well, I think for any of the 18 series, I don't think you can have any color blindness. I don't believe. I don't know for sure though. Sometimes you can just look that stuff up. I don't know for sure if I've ever seen if you can join Special Forces having a colorblind stigmatism. Can you give us a yeehaw? It's a little weird. I'm not a cowboy kind of person. I got all these skulls. I got heavy metal stuff. I got tattoos. I mean, I guess you can still be country and still have skulls and tattoos, but it's more of a country kind of thing, man. Can you do a video for 92 Alpha, please? What did I do? I did 92 Yankee. Was it? What was it? I forget what it was. I don't remember if I've done 92 Alpha. But eventually, the plan that I do is to try to hit up the most requested ones in the comment section from MOS Mondays, and then from there, I try to, just kind of try to get to all of them. So eventually, the goal is to get to all of them. Do they cut your hair if you have little to no hair in basic training? Sometimes. Sometimes you just have to go through the motions. They sometimes will make everybody go through the line, and even if you don't really need a haircut, they just have you sit down in the chair and they run over your head with the clippers and make sure you're good, and then send you on your way. So sometimes they'll do it anyways, just because they make everybody do it. So can an enlistee become an officer? Yeah, there's a green to gold program. So basically, if they choose to re-enlist to go green to gold, then basically you still get kicked out of the Army. Kind of, well, not really kicked out of the Army, but you leave the Army to go to college on an Army scholarship, basically, and then come back in as an officer. So there's that way you can do it and all that kind of stuff. We got a super chat from William. What's up, William? Thanks for the donation, rocking the super chat. If you have the opportunity to become a General 09, would you take it? Those people are usually pretty old. You gotta usually have a lot of experience to work your way up all the way up to 09. So it would require you to be in the Army for quite a long time. It'd probably be pretty chill. I mean, there's probably still a lot of responsibility, a lot of paperwork, admin stuff. But yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. It's really good pay too. And 09 probably makes bank. So that's a lot of money. But that also requires, like I said, a lot of time in the military to even work your way up to that high in the rank. Ranger school requirements. There's not really much for requirements. Sometimes they have like a pre-PT test they'll make you take before they can let you go, but I don't think there's really necessarily any kind of requirements other than that, I think. What are the chances of getting deployed if you're a combat photographer? Probably pretty high. I know some people only get sent to ceremonies or TV media. It mostly just depends on what they need. I don't know a whole lot about the combat photographer MOS. They have a specific, probably unit that they're in for that kind of stuff, and it just really depends on the mission, what's going on. I couldn't tell you for much. It's probably just as much of a chance as a lot of other people. Maybe a little bit less chance, because it really just depends on what they need. Every time someone says Chris in the chat, I keep thinking they're talking about me. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Hey, what's up, Matthew? How's it going? I really enjoy the personal blogs. It's nice to see you and your daughter. Well, thanks, Jacob. The vlog stuff is kind of fun. I like to be able to have those as like a archive to look back on and all kind of fun stuff. So that's mainly part of the goal, but also give anybody who's interested a little bit of a, dive into the personal side of me, because I don't know how long I can, keep doing the ThatChrisChaos channel. Eventually, people are gonna probably think I'm too old, or I don't know. So you gotta have some kind of other thing. Maybe build up the vlog channel to maybe after 5 years, 2 years. I don't know. It just depends, I guess. Have something to fall back on to continue doing YouTube if I want to. So that's kind of always the goal. You gotta have other opportunities if need be. My dad, 30 years in the Navy, E9. Yeah, I mean, you get 30 years. That's not very old to be E9. That's pretty good. Oh, he was my dad, 30 years. So he was 30 years in the Navy. I thought he meant like age 30. Let's say that's pretty young to be E9. But yeah, usually it takes a long time to work your way up to those higher ranks. For military retirement benefits, do all 20 years have to be active? No, but like your reserve time, if you did like 10 years in the reserves, it doesn't necessarily equal out to 10 years. So you can't do like, say, like 10 years in the reserves and then just go do 10 more years in active duty and then make 20 years. It doesn't really work that way. I don't remember how the equation works, but it works a little bit differently on your reserve time. 10 years doesn't necessarily equal 10 years of active, so it doesn't quite equal out that way. Steven Aguilar with a $2 donation. Thank you very much. You're awesome. How long do waivers take? Moral, medical, and vision? It can vary. Some could be pretty quick. Some could be really lengthy. It just kind of depends on how much digging they need to do into it. It's going to be a case-by-case thing. So, for example, with medical stuff, certain medical things, maybe require some additional appointments you have to do for the doctors before they can decide to clear you with a waiver. Some may be really easy to where they're like, oh yeah, this is no problem. Let's go and sign off on them and allow them in. So that can really vary based on case by case, but not only that, but like how quick they can get the stuff done to get it. So there's no real set time frame. It could be a couple weeks. It could be several months. There's really no good answer to that. Will you ever shave your beard? No, I did that one time. I have a old vlog on this channel from it before like this channel started doing really well, and I was doing still a mixture of vlogs and random videos and stuff on this channel, and I hated it. I hated the way it looked without a beard, and so I don't think I'll ever go back to shaving the beard off. So, would color vision dependency keep you from being able to serve in Ranger Regiment? No, not necessarily, because there's some MOSs that you can be in the 75th Rangers with color deficiency. So, not necessarily. I wouldn't think so. Found your DD214 channel too. Enjoyed the behind the scenes video. Very interesting. Well, thanks, Jay the Born. it's kind of the idea. It's a little bit of behind the scenes, a little bit of personal stuff, and all that kind of fun things. So try to work on maybe at least getting one vlog on that channel up a week, like one per week at least. And then if it starts doing really well, then maybe I'll work on more. I don't know. We'll just have to see how that kind of goes. So, got a super chat from William. Thanks, William. Thanks for the $5 Canadian donation. Thank you very much. Why is the Army PT uniform and logo is yellow, white, and black, not camouflage color? It's more because they want you to, you know, kind of stand out. You know, so you're doing PT early in the morning, you know, whatever the case is, where it's somewhat dark, depending on what time of the day it is, and they're kind of making it stand out. The black maybe not isn't. I mean, I like the way the black looks, but black maybe isn't necessarily the greatest idea for trying to make someone stand out. But then they have the extra yellow and everything on there to try to make that reflective. I think the yellow part of the vest is actually reflective, and I even think the on the shorts where it says Army is actually reflective. So those colors are also to make it stand out, but the Army's colors are really black and yellow. That's part of the Army's colors. So I think that's also part of the intention, is also to have the colors be the same colors that the Army colors are, I guess, really. So what's for dinner tonight? Burgers, tacos, pizza. We had these lasagna kind of roll-up kind of things. They were kind of like lasagna, these noodles with hamburger meat and some other stuff, and I don't remember what they were called, but they're good. I don't cook, by the way. Girlfriend does all the cooking. Anything on 31 Bravo that wasn't in the vid? Love the vids, dude. Keep it up. I don't even remember what a 31 Bravo is. What's a 31 Bravo? 31 Bravo MO. Is that the MP, military police officer, right? Yeah. I don't know. If there's stuff you want to know, I've known some people that were military police officers, but I gave most of my input in that video, probably, I think, that I can think of offhand. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah. What gear do you have to give back to the Army? There's quite a bit of it. You'll go through what's called CIF, and when you go through CIF, you get like a helmet that has to be returned. You have a vest that gets returned. And there's a lot of different things that'll have to get returned. The only thing you usually don't have to return is things that have direct contact with your skin. Most of those kind of things, like uniforms, t-shirts, underwear, you know, shorts, pants, all that kind of stuff, those things don't get returned back. Gloves don't get returned back, but anything like there's expensive usually is things that usually have to get returned. So there's a lot of things you have to return. So that just really depends. Last color vision question: can you color it as a 68 whiskey? I don't know. I don't remember what MOSs can and cannot have a color deficiency. It would take research. I'd have to like look it up and try to find the answers to it. But I don't know which ones are allowed to have color deficiencies and which ones are not. Do admins deploy a lot, like 68 Juliet, for example? Really, it doesn't matter what your MOS is. It more is a matter of what unit you're in, because if you're in a specific unit, that unit can have admin people, they can have infantry people, they can have support people, all sorts of different types of MOSs in that one unit. If that unit is going to deploy, they deploy as a whole unit, so everybody goes. You just have different roles based on what your MOS is. So you could still be an admin person deploying to a combat zone and always working inside of a building, but in a combat zone. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter what your MOS is. It is more important as to what unit you possibly get assigned to. So we got William with another super chat. By the way, if you didn't notice, lights blink. You can't really notice them as much in the new office. Might have to do something special for the thing, but lights blink when you guys do awesome things like, you know, help out the channel and do donations. So thank you, William, for your donation. Every time I see the Army logo, it reminds me of the one song from Wiz Khalifa. Oh, that Black and Yellow song. That's horrible that I was somehow able to figure out what you were talking about. I'm a metal guy. I listen to heavy metal, but for some reason I was able to kind of put the pieces together and just figure out what it was what song you were talking about. Chris, what is the weirdest place you ever fell asleep in? I don't know if there's any weird places. I mean, there's uncomfortable places, like just out in the dirt and on the back of a truck, on top of a truck, inside of a truck, on some ammo cans. I didn't necessarily like fall, like I slept there. It wasn't like I accidentally fell asleep there, but I don't know. Those kind of places are kind of weird, not super crazy. Can you do a push-up for us? No. I'm not gonna. Got you know, my workouts are gonna be done at a certain time, and doing push-ups is not part of my workout. I hate push-ups. They suck. Can I keep my vape pen in the Army? Not in basic training. You can probably use it after basic training. In some AITs, maybe at a certain point you might be able to, but not during basic training. So no, you will not be able to do any of that. Thank you, Chris. Have a good night. Well, thanks, Daniel. Thanks for dropping into the Chaos live stream. Did we get to 50? Oh, we're so close. We're at 46. There's 62 of you, according to my screen, in here hanging out for Chaos Live. So the goal is to get the live stream to 50, and I feel like we should be able to do that. So if you're enjoying this live stream and you have not yet hit the like button, go ahead and show it a little love. Hit that thumbs up. See if we can't get that live stream to 50 likes as a goal. You have to do deployment tests. Not really. You don't really have a test. You have training, but there's not really a test. How do you like 88 Mike? It was okay. I just really kind of went with an MOS just to kind of get in the military, because my intention was only to do 4 years, get out, go to college, and that didn't happen. But I mean, there's probably better MOSs that it could have been funner. Hey Chris, did you recover from your road march? I am good now. Yes, I'm gonna probably work it into doing more road marching stuff still as part of my workout routine still. But yeah, I did great. I only was really sore for, I mean, really sore for like 2 days. After that, it was like a light soreness that slowly started going away. But for 2 days, I was pretty sore after the baton. But all great now. I mean, now it's been, what, 2 weeks now since the baton? So I'm great now. How long will a waiver take for a broken elbow? And yeah, so again, like I was talking about earlier with waivers, it really depends. They can be very lengthy, they can be really quick. It just depends. William with another super chat, man, you rock. Thanks for the donation, William. Which military of the ancient would you join? I don't know. I mean, Romans seem pretty hardcore. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I'm not very big on history and all that kind of stuff, so I don't really have a good answer for that. I mean, being a Roman sounds cool. I don't know. I don't really know too well. Chris, I'll be deploying in 2020 auxiliary. Might be able to do state guard this summer. Well, good job, Edward. I know you've been looking for doing some kind of cool stuff. So that's awesome. Good deal. Glad things worked out for you, man. Let's see. Someone says you can't hear me? You can hear me. Something wrong with yours. Something's wrong with your sound then, I think. Have you seen combat? Nothing too crazy, so not a whole lot. I didn't really get into firefights. There was little things that have happened here and there during deployments, but not actually like nothing crazy like you see in movies or anything like that, where big crazy firefights were going on or anything like that. So, what's up, Randy? How's it going? What else? What was this? Kanoa? I don't know how to pronounce that name. I have no idea. Can I do real estate while in the Army? If so, what advantages can I use? And also, could I sign up for 401k once I start out as an E2, joining in 2020 till 2023 as a 25 pop-up, planning to re-enlist again? Real estate would be pretty tough to probably do if you were active duty, so I wouldn't think you would really be able to do that very well. 401k, you really could if you wanted to, but the new retirement plan that they have soldiers going through is basically like a 401k plan where you're putting in money towards an account and the Army matches it up to a certain percentage or whatever. And then that's kind of like the Army's version of 401k, which is how retirement works now for the Army. It's not like it was back in the day where you didn't have to really put any money to it. You just did 20 plus years, got out, and then you got a certain percentage based on how many years you stayed in. So now that's kind of how the Army kind of goes to. So, but you can do an additional, kind of 401k, I guess, if you really wanted to. But the real estate part, probably not very well. Last 88 Mike question. I lost the question. Where'd it go? I was reading it, and then it kind of, there he goes. My last 88 mic question, can I fast class out of 88 mic eventually, or do I have to wait for my first contract? Yeah, for the most part, you're going to have to wait until your first contract is up. Like, if that's not something you want to do, then don't join that MOS. I see that sometimes, you know, quite often, where someone's like talking about how they want to join this MOS and then they want to immediately switch. Well, then you probably shouldn't do that MOS. You should probably find a different MOS that you are more interested in if you're going to already want to switch out of it. But yeah, usually you have to wait until your contract's up and then switch out of it after that. So that'll kind of be the big thing. William with another super chat. Man, you're gonna go broke. Correct answer to my history question was the cross swords. Cross swords was my Roman answer the correct answer, or is these cross swords represent something that was the correct answer? I'm planning on being an 18 X-ray. Well, good luck to you, Sky. It's very tough, but if you're dedicated and you push yourself hard enough, who knows? Is it worth reading books on Army tactics and Army combat tracking before enlisting? I mean, maybe it'll help out a little bit, but for the most part, you're gonna be taught all that stuff, so it's not that big of a deal, really. I mean, maybe it'll help you understand it better, but for the most part, no, it's not that big of a deal. So you'll be okay, I think, if you don't do any kind of studying on that kind of stuff, because you'll learn it anyways. If the Army didn't exist, what branch would you have joined? I was actually going to join the Air Force, but the Air Force recruiter was very busy, and the Army recruiter was very pushy, so I ended up just giving in and joining the Army. We got Charles with a super chat. I'm 34, I'll be 35 on Wednesday. I'm going to see a recruiter on Monday, tomorrow to join. What do you think they will say about my age? Well, the problem you're going to have is the age cutoff for the Army is 35. So the problem is going to be the MOS you're going to get involved with. Sometimes you can get an age waiver, and you're going to have to talk to the recruiter about an age waiver and see if the MOS you want to do will be able to allow you to be able to get one. But otherwise, you know, for certain MOSs, that is going to eliminate you from being able to join certain MOSs in the Army with your age. So that's the tough part. So definitely, you know, when you talk to the recruiter, talk about, you know, that age waiver thing, and because 35 is the age limit. So that'll be the tough part, probably the challenging part. Do you have to raid any buildings? Certain MOSs do. Sometimes you still receive training on it, even if you don't do it. But Chris, can I do ROTC in law school? What are some of the possible MOSs? Yeah, you can do that, but your degree in ROTC, you know, going to the Army as an officer doesn't necessarily mean that it'll translate directly over. So just because you do a law degree doesn't mean you're going to get to be a lawyer in the Army, which is JAG. Sometimes they're going to stick you into the MOS they need you in. Now, if you can qualify at the top of your class, then maybe you can choose that. But for otherwise you're kind of stuck with it, having to, you know, just be whatever it is they want you to go inside of. So, what is my favorite camouflage pattern? I like the current one. I like the OCP. The current OCP uniform is pretty cool. By the way, we went past 50. I just noticed that. I think we're at 62 likes. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome for helping me get past the 50 likes goal that we had set for this live stream. You guys are amazing. Still continue to like it, because maybe we'll get to 100 just as an extra bonus. But otherwise, we met the goal, so that's awesome. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. Someone saying his birthday? Oh, it's Charles? Someone say there. Oh, I get it. Duh. Because Charles' birthday is Wednesday. Yes, I agree. Happy birthday, early birthday to you, Charles. Hopefully everything works out for you. And yeah, I just noticed that. That didn't dawn on me. But yeah, happy birthday, Charles. Even though it'll be Wednesday. But happy early birthday. How can you guarantee a deployment? Special Forces, probably. You pretty much, there's no way to avoid going on a deployment if you're in an 18 series MOS as Special Forces. So that's probably one of the biggest ways. Otherwise, everything else is just a roll of the dice based on what unit you're in, and if that unit is going to come up on orders for a deployment, and all that kind of stuff. So I'd say Special Forces would be the most likely for deployments. Do you have any advice for NTC? Bring lots of snacks, because sometimes it gets super boring. Sometimes it sucks getting killed in NTC. Sometimes it's really nice getting killed because it's a break from everything. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes if you get, you know, killed in a battle, right, in NTC, sometimes they make you go fill sandbags for like a while, and that sucks. And sometimes they just make you go sit in a tent for 8 hours or whatever until your unit has to come pick you up to get you replaced and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I would say mainly the big part is bring some good snacks, because sometimes those are hard to come by when you're in NTC. Woodland camo is the best. The thing I liked about like when we had the woodland camo back in the day was taking them to the dry cleaners and you get them with a nice crease in there. So that was kind of nice. I liked that. But you know how the uniform looked with the creases in them. But the camouflage pattern of the OCP one, the current one, is pretty cool. I like that pattern. What do you think of a 12 Bravo engineer? Pretty cool. You get to blow stuff up. Imagine it'd be pretty awesome. So that's a good MOS for someone. You know, well, I guess it depends on sometimes the unit you get into, because sometimes they do more construction stuff than they do blowing stuff up. So that kind of depends too. So, hey Chris, let's go snowboarding. Quit dodging me. We will shred. I haven't snowboarded since. It would have been Korea was the last time I went snowboarding. So that was in 2003. So it's been forever since I have snowboarded. Where do you go snowboarding at, John? I know I need to. I don't know if this. I mean, winter's pretty much almost over. There's probably a good maybe month, maybe 3-4 more weekends worth of snowboarding probably action here in Colorado, possibly. But I don't know if that would be really a thing for me to just dive back into. But maybe eventually, maybe next winter. Maybe next winter we'll hit it up and maybe we can do some kind of fun little chaos meetup and we'll all go skiing and snowboarding or something cool. But yeah, since this summer is the objective to really get in good shape, then maybe that'd be something good to do. So we'll have to see. Is the end stage boot camp fun? I'm curious because that's all we do for a week. I wonder if it will be fun to do. So you do like this road march at the very end, and it's exciting to finish it and stuff like that. That's usually the last thing you do in basic training. But I don't really know. Hey Chaos, going to miss your videos for a whole summer because I ship off to Leavenworth June 10th. Man, you have to binge watch when you come back out. You know, so you have something to look forward to, and you have to make sure to hit up a Chaos Live thing and let us know how basic went and all that kind of fun stuff. So good luck to you, June 10th. You still got some time to enjoy the little things. Make sure you enjoy some fun things that you won't get to do. That's always the best thing to do. Does anyone know if you already fluent in a language? Do you have to learn local language to where you deploy for special forces? So they are going. So if you're already pretty fluent in a language that is a part of one of their groups, then they might just assign you that language, and you'll still probably have to do the language training just to go through it probably and make sure you're still really fluent enough in it. But otherwise they won't pick something for you really. If you're already pretty fluent in a language they need. Like if you're fluent in Spanish, they don't really do that. They're gonna probably still stick you in another one. Like my friend who did that, he knew Spanish fairly well, and they assigned him Pashto. So it kind of depends. But Chris, you gonna watch WrestleMania next weekend? Most likely. That one's a fun one. I don't watch a lot of wrestling events, but WrestleMania is a pretty cool one fun one to watch. So I'll probably watch that one with a girlfriend. We also got a new TV that's getting delivered on Saturday, a 75-inch TV that I got to set up on Saturday. So I'll probably want to see what WrestleMania looks like on the 75-inch TV. So we'll work with it. But yeah, I'll probably end up watching that. Chris, shred the slopes with me, Nathan. Are you in Colorado though? That's the thing though. Maybe so. Like I'm gonna probably possibly try to do like a little like summer tour thing, do a little meetup, but I don't want it to be just like how the last one was, where I just came out and met people. I want to do something fun, like maybe either have a pizza party and just hang out and have pizza, go bowling, maybe do a road march. I don't know what it'll be, and I'm not sure how many cities I'll do. It might only be maybe 2 or 3 cities, maybe 1 city. I don't know. It's just gonna really depend on how many people are really interested in doing that. It looks like the 4 cities I kind of have narrowed down for the running of it is going to be Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and then Colorado Springs, of course. So probably one of those, either all 4 of those cities, or maybe 1 or 2 of those cities. I'll do something fun for the summer, just depending on if people want to meet up. But maybe it'd be kind of fun to do like a winter version of that and like go snowboarding with some people somewhere. So maybe it'd probably be easier to do like the first one like that somewhere here in Colorado and do some kind of fun little chaos meetup skiing / snowboarding adventure. It'd be kind of fun. What's the craziest metal song I've ever heard? I don't know. I don't know what the craziest one would be. I'm not sure. Sorry, video on 17 Charlie MOS, and I'm going to B1 after basic in July. What is the best place to be stationed besides Hawaii? So as a 17 Charlie, was Hawaii one of those ones? I mean, Hawaii might have been. I think Hawaii might have been one of those. I don't remember if that was one of the locations, because they're restricted to certain locations for that MOS. So I don't really know too well. Some of those are pretty obscure duty assignments that you have to be in a special MOS to kind of get that. So that kind of depends. So I don't really have any good advice for that. Why is it that drill sergeants say stuff like, I don't want you in my army, and notification platoon? No. I thought it was like, they say notification platoon? No. They're just doing that just to mess with you. So they're trying to crack you, trying to get you to break under pressure. So they're going to say all sorts of horrible stuff to you. So you just got to be ready for that kind of a thing. They don't maybe not necessarily mean it, but that's just part of what they do. William with another super chat. Who is the highest ranked officer you have met? I really briefly... Oh no, the highest ranking officer would have been Admiral Mullins. I have a coin from Admiral Mullins. He's a naval officer, and he was the Joint Chief of Staff. So he is actually the highest ranking officer in the military at that time. He was the Joint Chief of Staff, and he was an admiral. And so he was the highest ranking individual in the United States military because he was the Joint Chief of Staff, and that's really what that role is. So that's pretty much the highest you can go, is the Joint Chief of Staff. So yeah, that'd be the highest. You have to enroll in officer cadet school? Yeah. Well, no, so it depends. What are you talking about? OCS and earn it the hard way? Depends. So you can do ROTC, you can do OCS. If you're really good, you can do West Point. There's about three avenues, really. OCS is really only a thing you do if you already have a bachelor's. If you already have a bachelor's, then it's too late to do ROTC or West Point, so you kind of have to do it that way. I would like to meet up with you if you do another Chaos Live tour. Well, don't you live in California, Jay the Born? So maybe Los Angeles. Los Angeles might be the one you'll have to do. Come to Columbus, Ohio. We got Columbus, Ohio. We got come down to South Carolina. Germany would be awesome, but that'd be a little difficult. North Carolina. Will you ever come to California? Well, I was just talking about that. Last year I did Los Angeles for a small little meetup, and then Los Angeles will possibly be on this summer's agenda to do something like that. So probably what I'll have to do is I have to figure out a way to make sure I have serious people that want to attend to get a good idea of how many people are going to be at these locations, because it's difficult to justify blowing a bunch of my revenue that I made from YouTube on a flight and hotel for like 1 or 2 people. That kind of is wasteful. So I have to kind of make it worth it, but also kind of maybe plan some other stuff around it for the channel. So maybe like meeting up with another YouTuber to do some kind of collaboration video, or specifically filming a special video wherever I'm going. So that just kind of depends. So we're currently at 54 minutes of the live stream, so it means we're getting close to the end of the live stream. If you guys are curious about a P.O. box, I actually have a P.O. box, and in fact, if you send me a self-addressed envelope with a stamp on it, as long as I still have Chaos stickers, which I still have a handful left, not a crap ton left anymore, but a handful left. So if you send me a self-addressed envelope with a stamp on it, I'll throw in there a Chaos sticker for you if you're interested in that. Or if you just want to send me a letter to say what's up, you can send me unit patches, you can send me rock stars, you can, whatever legal stuff, nothing illegal over the mail. Or like I said, just a self-addressed envelope, and I'll send you back a sticker. So that is an option available if anybody is interested in that. If you want to visit, let's see, the Christopher Chaos store, that's also a thing as well. If you go to www.christopherchaos.com/store, You got this little area here. They have different shirts. Classic ones, they're just your basic t-shirts with the Chaos logo. And the elite ones that have like a all-over print kind of style. And then some miscellaneous stuff as well as some military themed shirts as well. So those are in there, so you can check those out if you're interested in it. Today was the last day for that special coupon code of getting 30% off. So before tonight, if you really want to get one like immediately after this live stream, you can save 30% off on most items. Some of these classic ones it doesn't work on because then it doesn't equal out to Teespring making a profit, so they won't allow the code to work. But it does work on pretty much all the elite stuff and a lot of other items and stuff too. But that is an option as well, so if anybody wanted to check out some Chaos merch, that's where to go. Links are still down in the description. Also, the P.O. box is down there as well. So we got a little bit longer, about 4 or 5 minutes before we're going to cut off the stream. So you should come to El Paso. I was in El Paso, talking about Texas, but I only got, when I was messaging out about possibly doing a meetup in El Paso, I only got one person hit me up saying that they'd be interested in it. So I got too busy to really do anything, so it wasn't really too big of a thing to try to do an El Paso meetup. So that's why it's also important that if you are interested in meetup stuff, follow me on social media. That's what these links are right up there, is like ThatChrisChaos, or you search Christopher Chaos. Instagram is the main one that I like to use, but a lot of these get auto-published from Instagram, so you can still find stuff, but Instagram's the better one for getting a hold of me. So if you're interested in meetup stuff, make sure you follow me on Instagram, because that's where I'll message about it or post about it if I'm going to be trying to do some kind of meetup stuff. Any advice for me? I ship out July 22nd. Just be ready. It's not, it's going to suck, but it's only basic training. You just got to, embrace it. They're going to make it suck for you to test you, and then once you get past that, it gets much better after that. So you just got to watch out for that. I'm 18. Should I go infantry? If infantry is something you're interested in. I don't think your age really matters. It just depends on what it is you're interested in. Do you have co-ed showers like Starship Troopers? No. Definitely not. You can dream, but that's not something that's in the Army, in military at all. Infantry is a different lifestyle compared to the rest of the Army. They do a lot of field work and stupid garrison work like cutting grass. Yeah, sometimes, because they mainly have a job when you're deployed, and when you're not deployed, it's all about training, and then if you're not training, then you're doing stuff like that, cutting grass or doing crazy stuff like that. So sometimes it can be a little discouraging and all that kind of stuff. So Jay the Vorn says you got takeoff. Thanks for hanging out, Jay the Vorn. You're awesome. We got William with another super chat. You rock. Thank you for the donation, man. What are the rules/law in the military that don't make sense that you would change or get rid of? Being able to use an umbrella, probably, because the only time you can really use an umbrella is sometimes in the formal uniform. They'll authorize it. But there's times when, well, I don't know. It'd probably look kind of stupid walking around with an umbrella, though. So I don't know if I really need an umbrella. So maybe that's not really a good one to change. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what would be a good one. Oh, boots with zippers. You're not allowed to wear boots that have zippers. Those are really nice, comfortable boots. Like I wear a pair now when like for work and stuff. And those aren't authorized while in uniform. So you can't have those. It's mainly, like, I can understand for combat situations, but it should be fine when you're not in a combat situation. But those are really easy to get on and off, and sometimes more comfortable. So that would probably be one, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the zipper with boots. I'd have to really think about it if I was ready to try to invest in a lot of thought into something to get rid of. But probably that. Maybe hands in your pockets when you're cold. I think that's kind of a horrible rule. I understand what the rule is for. It's because it could interfere with you trying to salute an officer. But like during physical fitness or certain other times, it'd be nice to be able to put your hands in your pockets to warm your hands up. You're supposed to wear gloves to warm your hands up, but sometimes gloves aren't easily accessible or useful with what you're doing sometimes. But thanks for the donation, William. Could you do a video on infantry officer? Do infantry officers see combat? Lower ones, like lieutenants, maybe even a captain. The higher up you go as an officer in the infantry, the more admin stuff you're going to do. so not quite as much infantry, action that you're going to get. As far as doing a video on infantry officers, maybe at some point. Right now, I'll probably just work on a lot of the enlisted MOSs, and then maybe we can work on some officer ones. I don't have any experience with being an officer, so that would take just nothing but research. And I guess I don't really have experience with every MOS in the Army either, but maybe. I'm sure at some point we could do something like that. How long did you serve in the military for? And by the way, I watched your Army workout vids, and they were amazing. I was in for just over 10 years, almost. It was like 11, it was like 10 years and like 7 months, I think it was, or something like that. But thanks. Yeah, I had this series that I did where I was trying to do Army-style PT for like 30 days straight, and trying to get back into shape and just trying to fun series. They didn't do super well on views, so I didn't continue to do anything like that on the series. But yeah, hopefully some people still enjoyed it though, thankfully, even though it didn't do as well as most of my videos on here. Hey Chris, have you ever worn the dress mess? No, because only cooks wear that. So anybody else would just be wearing it for some dumb reason. You gotta have a purpose to wearing it, and that's specifically was a 92 Golf for the cooks. So otherwise, I wouldn't have a purpose for wearing the mess uniform. If some of the Army can switch into the Marine Corps, you could. Yes, it depends sometimes though, because the standards change sometimes. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes Marines might not want to take prior service if you're in a different branch. So it just kind of depends sometimes. The more common one is usually people going from Marines to Army. Not a lot of people really want to go Army to Marines because Army promotes faster a lot of times for certain MOSs. And then also Marines don't let you choose your job. So if you want to go and, you come in the Army, you get to pick what you want to do, and then you want to switch to the Marines, well, they're going to pick what they want you to do. You're not going to get to pick what you want to do. So not a lot of people do that. Some people get stuck with some job they don't like in the Marines, and they want to switch to something else, so they go to the Army because then they can choose what they want to do. So, Hungry Squad. All right, what are we at? We're just a little over an hour, so we're gonna go ahead and probably cut off the live stream here. If I didn't get to your question, don't take it personal. Like I said, I have to skip around a lot. Otherwise, if I take too long on, going comment to comment to comment to comment and answering every single question, then it's going to take forever to get caught up, and some people are going to leave before I even answer their question. But if you had a question and I didn't get to you, and you want to know the answer to a specific question or whatever, you can either, come back to this video later after it's been processed. You can hit me up on Instagram. Sometimes I'm able to respond to you on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should, find me on Instagram. That's the best way to find me. Especially like if you're interested in meetups, because that's probably where I'm going to post about meetups, is on there. If you're interested in more of the personal stuff on my side, make sure you go to the DD214 vlog channel, subscribe to that sucker as well, and all that kind of fun stuff. We got a MOS Monday for you guys tomorrow. We got 2 Minute Tuesday coming up, and then we'll also have a Thursday video that's sponsored, so awesome on that one too. So great stuff coming up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for another Chaos Live. Hopefully you guys have a great evening. Enjoy the week. It's always the first 5 days after the weekend that are the hardest. We can do it and get to another weekend and enjoy it. So thanks for hanging out. You guys rock. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.